Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayaudirayet Nashtaprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, chapter 29, verse number 11. If anyone wants to read the verse, you can raise your hand, please. Am I audible?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Surekha Mataji, go ahead.
नलिनी नालिनी नासे गंध सौरभ उच्यते घ्राणो वधूतो मुख्यास्यं विपणो वाग्रसविद्रस्तः. हरे कृष्ण. हरे
Thank
कृष्ण.
you. Nalini, named Nalini. Nalini, named Nalini. Nase, the two nostrils. Gandha, aroma. Saurabha, Saurabh, fragrance. Uchyate is called. Grahana, the sense of smell. Avadhutaha, named, called Avadhut. Mukhya, called Mukhya, principal. Asyam, the mouth. Vipanaha, named Vipan. Vak, the faculty of speech. Rasavit, named Rasadna, expert in tasting. Rasaha, the taste, the sense of smell. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The two doors named Nalini and Nalini should be known as the two nostrils. And the city named Saurabha represents aroma. The companion spoken of as Avadhuta is the sense of smell. The door called Mukhya is the mouth and Vipan is the faculty of speech. Rasagna is the sense of taste. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Avadhuta means most free. A person is not under the rules and regulations of any injunctions when he has attained the stage of Avadhut. In other words, he can act as he likes. This Avadhut stage is exactly like air, which does not care for any obstruction. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 34, it is said, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayureva sudushkaram. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it it seems to me, more difficult than controlling the wind. Just as the air or wind cannot be checked by anyone, the two nostrils situated in one place enjoy the sense of smell without impediment. When the tongue is present, the mouth continually tastes all kinds of relishable foodstuffs. All right, we'll read one more verse, verse 12. Anyone wants to read? Okay. Apano vyavaharvatra chitram andho bahudhanam pitrahur dakshina karna uttaro devahu smritaha. Apanaha, name Apan. Vyavahara, business of the tongue. Atra, here. Chitram, of all varieties. Andaha, eatables. Bahudhanam, named Bahudan. Pitrahu, named Pitrahu. Dakshin, right. Karna, ear. Uttaraha, left. Devahu, Smritaha is called. Translation by His Divine Grace Prabhupada Ki Jai. The city called Apana represents engagement of the tongue in speech. And Bahudan is the variety of foodstuffs. The right ear is called the gate of Pitruhu and the left ear is called the gate of Devahu. Okay, let's discuss it because I want to go to Damodar pastime then. Omagyantimirandasya Gyananjanjalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishbhanuste Devi Pranamami Adpriya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvisheshashnavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. The two doors named Nalini and Nalini should be known as the two nostrils, and the city named Saurabha represents aroma. The companion spoken of as Avadut is the sense of smell. The door called Mukhya is the mouth, and Vipan is the faculty of speech. Rasagna is the sense of taste. The city called Apan represents engagement of the tongue in speech, and Bahudan is the variety of foodstuffs. The right ear is called gate of Pitrahu, and the left ear is called the gate of Devahu. All right, we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, which is the creation of the fourth order, chapter 29, which is entitled as, what is the chapter entitled as?
Talk between Narada
and
King Prachina Varisat.
Yes, talk between Narada and King Prachina.
King Prachina Varisat.
So now Narad Muni is explaining the allegorical explanations of the 9 gates, the city of 9 gates, and their principal function, and what are the kinds of sense object that these 9 gates enjoy. You know, he is giving the allegory of Nalini and Nalini. This is all given in 4th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 25, verse number 45 to 55. So we can go back. I mean, I have it here right in front of me to say what the details were when they were mentioned at that time. So Nalini and Nalini are like the 2 holes, gates of the cities, Nalini and Nalini. And it allegorically represents what hole on the body? So the gate is Nalini, Nalini, but what is the hole which allegorically represents this gate on the body? What is that gate? Nalini, Nalini is allegory. What's the gate it is representing on the body?
nostrils.
Nose. 2 nostrils. All right. So what is the destination or the sense object that the nose is enjoying?
Aroma.
Aroma. Very nice. Which is called Saurabha or fragrance. You see, Saurabha or fragrance. All right. So what is the, okay, allegorically it is Saurabh, but what is the whole structure itself is called as? Itself is called as the, so the 2 gates which are enjoying the fragrance is called as what on a human form? What is it called as, that organ?
Nose.
Nose. It's called as nose. Very nice. Mukhya or principal is the mouth. So mouth, Mukhya is another gate, and on allegorically it is representing what on the human body? Which whole of the body it is representing?
Mouth.
Mukhya. Mouth. All right. And then what is the object of sense object for the mouth, or the 2 sense objects? Taste and
tongue.
speech. Tongue has 2 functions, vibrate and taste. So it's taste and speech, right? So what is that? What are the, so taste and speech? So what are the sense objects? I'm sorry. What are the accompanying friends with this? For tasting, rasagna.
For speech is vipana.
Speech is vipana. Yes, or voice, and the taste is the tongue.
Rasagna.
Or rasagna. Rasagna is also called as the tongue. All right, and then we are introduced to 2 more gates in this particular verse, which are right ear and left ear, which we will learn more in forthcoming verses. The right ear is the gate of Pitrahu, because right ear is situated on the southern side. If the mouth is facing, mouth and 2 eyes and nose is facing the eastern side, the right ear is supposed to be on the southern side, and the left ear is supposed to be on the northern side. So the southern side, it represents the karma kanya vichar, or oblations to the pitrahu or the pitras, the knowledge that is acquired through the right ear. The left ear is devahu, or it takes away to the transcendental position. That is why when the Gayatri is given at the time of second initiation, when the spiritual master chants the Gayatri in the ear of the disciple, it is given in the left ear. Devahu. All right. So basically, Narad Muni is emphasizing that these are all cities, these are all gates, which actually leads to a particular city. What is a city compared to? What is a city? We heard that before. Puranjana is a
Body.
living
It is
Very nice.
compared to
Body.
living or
Body of
Body.
the living.
general.
Body.
talk. Prem Prakash Haridas Prabhu, what are you saying?
A city is basically a body, and Puranjana is a jiva.
Yes. Is everyone following? Because Nadmuni is taking so much pain to explain us all these allegorical explanations one more time. This is one part of Srimad Bhagavatam where the same thing is repeated 2 times. So that means it is very important for us to understand that what is what. Okay. So basically, what makes him explain all this? What is the benefit of knowing all this? The benefit of knowing all this is multifactorial, or multiple benefits can be reaped. Can you tell me some of the benefits by understanding this knowledge of wholes, and what it allegorically represents on the human form? What are its sense of objects? What are the accompanying friends? What is it really? How does it benefit us? You can raise your hand and tell me. Share some thought. How does it benefit? Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. It is basically to tell the Jeev that it is different from the body. Body is only a temporary temporary house where the Jeev is going to live, and he should be
Okay.
detached. His identification is different than the body. That
Okay,
is
thank
one
you.
basic thing. And the Prakriti is acting on it. The Prakriti is acting on it in different ways that he should understand.
Okay, thank you. Prafulla Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Jiva is having all these parts, all these senses, but he can use this for the purpose of transcendental knowledge or transcendental aroma, nose for smell of tulasi dal, like that Mataji, and tongue for speech, for chanting, all these things Mataji.
Basically, you're saying just to educate us what each whole is supposed to do.
Yes, Mataji.
All right, thank you. Yes, Prem Prakash Haridas Prabhu.
Mataji, Shastras are very difficult to understand, especially with the material senses that we are trying to understand the spiritual knowledge of the Shastras. And that's why if we look at it, all the Shastras, whenever they want to make you understand, they give analogy. Rather than giving any kind of a formula or any kind of a prameya, what we call, they always give an analogy. This is an analogy for us to understand everything easily in the material sense. So it's sort of a spiritual knowledge which is made understandable for the material senses that we have, which are very inadequate. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay, thank you. So basically, it's a way of teaching. Narad Muni is adopting this way of teaching. There are different ways of teaching, and Srimad Bhagavatam probably sums up all the different kinds by which we can teach, and also by which we can learn, right? For this, I think we discussed this earlier, that one is the very traditional way of teaching, that the teacher is teaching and the student is hearing, right? And then the other way is by experience, like when Krishna sends Uddhav to Vrindavan, he requests that Uddhav takes his message to the Vrajavasis, and Uddhav thinks that he's doing a favor to Krishna, but actually when Uddhav lands in Vrindavan, he learns by experience what is true love for Krishna is. What does it mean to have true love for Krishna? So basically, Krishna was teaching Uddhav through experience. So that's another way of teaching. And here we are seeing this way of teaching that Narad Muni is giving us, that, okay, you see somebody else's life, but when you see that, you'll invariably realize, oh my God, my life is exactly the same. My God. So this is why having sometimes when people are going through too much crisis, especially during grief, when somebody is grieving and mourning the loss, whatever it could be, in small or big, then the best way, of course, is to be available and not to say anything. But when the person is ready to hear, the best way is to teach them as a third party, like this Narad Muni is saying, or bring the experience. Not say words like the life goes on, or you will be fine, or we are there for you. These well-meaning people say these things, but they don't really meet the purpose. Okay. Okay, we'll listen to Vipin last Krishna Das Prabhu, and then go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, or Mataji. Actually, on the only human can utilize these senses for the pleasure of the Lord. Only that capability only with the human species only. So Shastra teaches us, and that is the reason why Narad Muni explained 2 times. These are the senses. It is not used only for our pleasure. It has to be used for the Lord Krishna's pleasure. Then and then only we can make satisfaction to Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, and then okay, we can take that point up and then understand that if once we understand the worth of what we have, then we can understand how we can use it. For example, if somebody has become very opulent from a very poor standard of life, I'm giving a material example, then they know the worth, right? They know the worth of that particular status that they have achieved by hard labor. Yes or no? Say somebody is very poor and then they become very opulent and famous, they know the worth.
Yes,
Yes,
they know
yes,
the value
Mataji.
of the money.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, they actually know every pie counts, right? But now their future generation, if somebody is born, like children born in their house, they're born with a silver spoon in the mouth. Will they have that intensity of understanding?
No, Mataji.
No.
No,
Not
no,
at
No,
all.
Mataji.
No.
Right?
You
Yeah,
need
because they're
that
born in
fire in the belly to understand that.
What did you say?
You need a fire in the belly to understand that.
Oh my God, your punchlines. Your punchlines.
I don't think it will happen. They are very intelligent.
Prem Prakash Haridas Prabhu, you give punchlines. You give punchlines, you know? All right. So, yes. So basically what I'm trying to say is that, okay, if everybody around us are humans, we might be, okay, you know, what's the big deal? I'm also another human. But actually, if one tries to understand the possession of what one have, like what is it they're actually carrying? I'm actually carrying, and are sitting inside this body, and this body has all these capacities. Wow, this is amazing. So then, actually, you have to find our self-worth. So Srimad Bhagavatam can be looked at from various angles. One way to look at Srimad Bhagavatam is a book which enhances one's self-worth in life. That I'm worthy. Generally, in our mundane life, in our day-to-day life, we are quote unquote taught subconsciously to find our worth outside of us. And it starts in the childhood, and I can prove it. You know, children, when they are displaying some feats, you know, when they are like, for example, showing some dance or something, then everybody is asked to clap, right? Please clap, everybody clap. So, yes or no? Have you seen that? Like everybody clap and give
Yes.
appreciation
Yes,
and
Mataji.
applause.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mataji. Yes,
I'm not
Mataji.
saying that is incorrect. I'm not saying that is incorrect to do on behalf of the elders. But then we have to understand what's going on inside the mind of the kid. Elders may be doing it from one viewpoint to enhance this child's enthusiasm and confidence, and the child generally takes that if I want a self-worth, I need to perform good. I need to be liked by other people. Right? I can tell you so many families we see, and then this is the time to ponder in our own life that at least not this generation, but maybe a generation before, or maybe like 60-70 years ago, around 60 years ago. Now some of you share your experience if you have seen anything like this. Like when the boys or girls were like 14, 15 years of age, they were difficult times in the families, and the children were going to school, yes, but they were also earning like some menial jobs, like, for example, selling a newspaper or selling something to get some money. Yeah, do you have that experience in your life? Do you know people like that in your life, in your friendship circle, in your family circle?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, yes, Mataji.
So what happened is that, okay, they're bringing the money and they're contributing, and that person usually becomes very successful in life later on, who started, generally that's what is seen in the observation population studies, if they follow these people for 10 years, 20 years. And then what happens is that that person subconsciously learns it, that if I want to be applauded, if I want to be accepted, if I want to be, if other people, if I want to be loved by other people, then I need to keep giving, keep giving, keep giving, keep giving. Basically, the self-worth is given outside. Here you go, put your self-worth in your hand and you put it in the universe, that, okay, now you appreciate me, you appreciate me, you appreciate me. But Shastras tell us, Shastras are very nice. They tell us to come to the center. They tell us, come to the center of your own life. Okay, they actually teach us that this is what you have. Calm down and understand. And how do we calm down? By chanting Hare Krishna. A restless mind cannot understand Shastras. A restless mind will find defect even in the Shastras. And how do we understand? By hearing from the spiritual master. So calm down and understand that this is what you've got. And this is given to you individually. One devotee was giving class today. So nice. Bhagavatam class. He said, what did he say? It came in my mind that, Krishna, what was that? Okay, let's see if it comes back to me. But I really liked his point that he made, that we don't really know what we have. And the dilemma is that we are surrounded by such noises around us, which really don't have any time to pause and tell us that what we have. And it leads to exploitation, competition, and deficiency of resources, pestilence, war, hatred, all these things, because we don't understand what I have. The grass is always greener on the other side. So calm down and take time to understand that I have this city of 9 gates, and it's a very powerful city. It's not something which is lacking in anything. It's a complete unit, and it's very powerful. And I am living in this city. I'm a resident of that city. People take pride in being resident of whatever country they have the passport of. For example, if somebody has an Indian passport, then okay, I'm very proud to be an Indian. If somebody has a European passport, I'm very proud to be a European. Or somebody has a United States passport, then I'm very proud to be an American. So that way, we actually give our identity or our belongingness to that booklet of paper, passport. But Shastras teachers know you're actually living in a very powerful city, and that powerful city is so intricately designed that it can actually make or break your life for good. So then the person calms down and says, okay, let me hear about this city. And if I have to do anything with it, then I'll probably make my life. Why will I break my life? So then starts the journey of self-realization, the self-worth. And that is the beginning of some discovery of self in true sense. Otherwise, we are always looking for validation from outside. One devotee, Shiti Shakti Mataji was giving class, and she said it so nicely that one may be recognized as a very nice devotee by outsiders. But if they're not thinking of Krishna at the time of death, it doesn't matter what other people are thinking. Right? Or one may never be recognized by anybody in the world, but if they're thinking of Krishna at the time of death, then they are dear to Krishna. So So basically, the first relationship is with Krishna. And every other relationship that we make is just an expansion of that first relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in that way, we are a citizen of the entire cosmos. In that way. Now, Srila Prabhupada, he built ISKCON, and he said, ISKCON is a house where the entire world can live. So how do we understand? Because the United Nations is also trying to combine, but they are failing miserably. And they are even failing to stop the wars or initiate the wars. But ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada's mercy is so prevalent, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so prevalent. Wherever you go, you can feel this, you can palpate. This whole philosophy is same. It's the same. It's same what Prabhupada said in India, same what he said in America, same what he said in Europe, in Australia, in Africa, in Hong Kong, in Vietnam, in China, wherever. Is exactly the same, that you first relationship is with Krishna. What does it say in Srimad Bhagavatam? Nate vidhu swarth gatim hi Vishnu. The first interest, self-interest or selfish interest, if we translate swarth into selfish interest, is Vishnu. So begin from inside and then go outside. But we are surrounded by society where we are taught begin from outside and never go inside. So basically, lose our time unnecessarily. This is a very nice allegorical description. For me personally, it means that it is telling me my self-worth. It is telling my self-worth that, oh my God, I have this body. Okay, people may look at the body as an old body or a young body. I myself can look at it, right? We all can look at ourselves with different visions, or thin body, or a fat body, or this body. But Shastras look at this body as a city. So we discussed that better to develop the Shastra Chakshushaha. Did we discuss this? Better to develop the vision, the vision of our eyes, better to be developed in view of knowledge from the Shastras. Because then the intelligence is given by Krishna directly. Did we discuss this? Ashwatthama's pastime? Did we discuss, or I discussed it somewhere else? I don't even remember now. Did we discuss this part? Better to develop the knowledge from the Shastras. Or no, we didn't discuss.
No, Mataji.
Is
I don't think, Mataji.
Didn't discuss
No,
in this.
Mataji.
All right,
Never
so
heard
basically
from
what
you,
I'm trying to say,
Mataji.
thank you. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that develop the self-worth, and develop this confidence that Krishna has given me this city of 9 gates and how valuable it is, and try to develop the vision of our own self from the Shastras, because the advantage is then Krishna will give intelligence what to do with it. And we are not left on our own sphere of experience, on our own sphere of little knowledge, or our mental speculation to do things in our life, which can be very detrimental. The one example I heard recently from one devotee is, for example, we have always these conflicting and competing decisions within us. Do this, should I take care of my human needs, or should I sacrifice my human needs for the sake of developing my or nurturing my spiritual needs? Should I do this? Should I do that? Will it be against Krishna consciousness? Will it be against my own psychological nature? Because so there are always conflicting things in our consciousness. Everybody has it. So there's this pastime of Ashwatthama, where Ashwatthama has done a heinous act of killing Draupadi's 5 sons in sleep, right? And then Krishna is angry. Draupadi is distraught. She's completely distraught. Her children have died. Krishna is angry, and Arjun is angry, Bhima is angry, everybody's angry. So Krishna tells Arjun, kill him. Kill him because it's not going to be sinful. Just kill him. And everybody agrees, yes, he needs to be killed. He is coming from a lineage of Dronacharya, which is the exalted personality, and he's committing such heinous act, doesn't suit his caliber, doesn't suit him anywhere for his varna or ashram, completely against, kill him. So, but Draupadi, she gives different reasons, even though she is distraught, but she thinks of the mother of Ashwatthama, and she thinks that The mother didn't go sati with the husband because she has a living son. So she, in that way, is not really a widow because she has a representative of the husband living. So the only reason she didn't die with Dronacharya is because of Ashwathama. So if Ashwathama dies, then we're actually going to be responsible for the death of the mother as well. And then she's saying, and she's also giving different logics. So one logic she gave is this, other logic is said that I know the pain of losing a son, and I would hate to give it to another mother. Basically, she gives different arguments, and then Krishna says, oh, before that, Arjun tells Draupadi, don't worry, I'm going to kill Ashwathama, then you can dance on the dead body of Ashwathama. I promise I'm going to kill him and you dance on his dead body. But then after Draupadi puts her arguments in front of Krishna, Krishna says, okay, don't kill him. Okay. So everybody is in agreement other than Bhim. Bhim does not agree with Krishna's agreement of not killing. But anyhow, let's focus on Arjun. The question is now Arjun has made a vow to Draupadi that he will kill Ashwathama. And Krishna initially did say to Arjun that kill him, and now he's saying, okay, don't kill. And Arjun is acting on behalf of Krishna's order. So now what? Kill or don't kill? But because he's acting on behalf of Krishna's order, Krishna gives him intelligence what to do from within the heart. It's a very delicate situation to be in. So the advantage of recognizing one's self-worth from the eyes of the Shastras is that we actually get intelligence from the super soul in the heart, and we don't get succumbed to these conflicting and competing decisions within us or experiences that one may be facing. Okay, so it's a very nice portion of Srimad Bhagavatam where for me, it means it's like, okay, this is my self-worth of this human form of body, of life, which I have right now by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And these are all the functions that all these holes can do. Now, I can actually basically make a choice. It's like, life is projected in front of you on a cinema screen. And you can make, okay, I have these, I'm not bound. I can actually make a choice. What do I see with my eyes? Because that's what the eyes do. What do I smell with my nose? What do I put in my tongue, or what do I talk about from my speech? Okay. Any questions, reflections, realizations, corrections? Prakash Rao Prabhuji. Go ahead.
Mataji, can we take Ambarish Maharaj as the example for it? Because he has used every part of it to the Krishna service. Am I correct?
So that brings up a very nice thing. So you say, yes, of course, Ambarish Maharaj is a standard. Good,
Yeah.
that's a standard.
All
But
Navavida Bhakta. Yes,
so,
Mother, please continue.
But when we come to apply it in our life, we have to completely understand our own standard. What is, or not our own standard, but reality. So there are two things. Okay, one is the ideal, which Ambarish Maharaj is ideal, and the other is real. What is the reality of my life? Can I become Ambarish Maharaj? Okay, so and then there's a gap between ideal and real. How do we bridge that gap? How do we bridge that gap? By cultivation of sensitivity and compassion. Those two qualities can actually help us walk from real to ideal, and actually help others walk along with us from real to ideal. Otherwise, we just become like a parrot devotee, Okay, there's Ambarish Maharaj. Okay, there's Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, there's Hanuman. But where are you? Or where am I? Okay. Theoretically, to pass a Bhakti Shastri exam, fine. But to live a Krishna life, is this real? I don't know. I maybe I'm hitting it hard, but it's the reality of life. So, thank you.
What I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is that the parts of the body, now you explained it, there is one spiritual light. We need in this Kali Yuga, this should be properly used. The hands, for instance, is to for the puja, like that. That's why in that idea I told you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Any other question, reflection, realization, correction? Prem Prakash, Haridas Prabhu.
No, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we'll read this 15th verse quickly. It won't take long. 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, Damodar Leela, 9th chapter, verse number 15. Tattamabadhya manasaya swarbhakshaya kritagashaha dvi angulo namad abhuttena sadhadhe anyacha gopika. Translation. I think I'll read synonyms because every word is important in this verse. Tat dam, that binding rope. Badhya manasya, who was being bound by Mother Yashoda. Swa arbhakshya, of her own son. Krita agashaha, who was an offender. Dvi angula, by a measurement of 2 fingers. Unam, short. Abhut, became. Tena, with that rope. Sandadhe, joined. Anyacha, another rope. Gopika, Mother Yashoda. Translation by his divine grace. No, this is a translation by his disciples. All right. When Mother Yashoda was trying to bind the offending child, she saw that the binding rope was short by a distance, the width of 2 fingers. Thus, she brought another rope to join to it. Purport. Here is the first chapter in Krishna's exhibition of unlimited potency to Mother Yashoda when she tried to bind him. The rope was too short. The Lord had already shown his unlimited potency by killing Putana, Sakatasura, and Trinavrata. Now, Krishna exhibited another vibhuti or display of potency to Mother Yashoda. Unless I agree, Krishna desired to show, you cannot bind me. Thus, although Mother Yashoda, in an attempt to bind Krishna, added one rope after another, ultimately she was a failure. When Krishna agreed, however, she was successful. In other words, one must be in transcendental love with Krishna, but that does not mean that one can control Krishna. When Krishna is satisfied with one's devotional service, he does everything himself. Sevan mukhe jivadu swayam eva suriti adaha. He reveals more and more to the devotees as the devotee advances in service. Jiva adu. This service begins with the tongue, with chanting, and with taking the prasad of Krishna. Atha Shri Krishna namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyehe sevan mukhe hi jivadu swayam eva surite adaha. Okay, a lot can be said about this particular verse, but we'll summarize. So far we have studied that Mother Yashoda and Krishna are on the gate of the palace, and the gopis, by hearing this argument between the mother and the son, have started to collect. And they are very nicely dressed up for the festival of Deepavali. And here is Mother Yashoda pulling cords from her hair to bind Krishna. And then she sends 2 of her maidservants inside the house to get more rope. And she has located the object that she's going to bind Krishna with. And she's also located the place from where Krishna will be bound. The place where he'll be bound is his belly, and the object is the mortar. Okay, and now she's trying to calculate. She's trying to calculate that how much rope is going to be needed. So she has joined 2 of her cords from her hair, and the Shastras describe that the locks of her hair are falling on her face. Mother Yashoda is very beautiful, and she looked very beautiful when she was all neat and the hair were tied up. But after she has taken these cords out and the hair are open, she actually looks more beautiful because she's very much in samadhi to Krishna, and that makes her more beautiful. So as one goes more and more into meditation on Krishna, the internal beauty is manifested everywhere. So she's like meditating on Krishna and look, and she's also appreciating, as she's trying to do all this. It's explained in the book that she's also appreciating the beautiful limbs of Krishna. She's appreciating and thanking the Narayan that she has a very beautiful child. She can see, oh my God, this child. In her heart, she's saying that my baby's hands are so pretty, his feet are so pretty, his legs are so pretty. But she's carrying on her agenda that she has to bind. So there are 2 things happening. One is the demigods are conversing, and the Vrajvasis are conversing. And then the second thing which is happening is Krishna is conversing with Yashoda. So Krishna asks Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, what did I do that you're trying to bind me? Now he's standing there asking Yashoda. And she says, I am your mother and I'm supposed to teach you the difference between right and wrong. And today you have done so much wrong. So Krishna in his heart says that if my father Nanda Maharaj was here, he would have probably taught me in a much mellower way than you. But he didn't say that because, you know, he doesn't want the stick to reappear. So he doesn't say that. But he says, are you talking about like this severe punishment to me? Are you giving this punishment to me because I have made a mess with some yogurt? Because of my mischief with the yogurt? Like this is what I deserve? Mother Yashoda says, today what you did is not a mischief. It was an offense. Offender. Krita agasaha. You have done an offense. And Krishna is bringing his two eyebrows. You know how when people get angry, we bring our two eyebrows like this, like this. So Krishna is angry and he looks at his mother like this. And Mother Yashoda in turn looks like that to him. Now, yes, you are an offender. But Krishna can't understand that how spilling some yogurt is an offense. And demigods, so Vrajavasis are highly doubtful because Krishna has done so miraculous work. You know, he has killed all these Putana, Sakatasura, Trinavrata. So they are kind of aware that there is a lot of mystic potency acting out here. So they are highly doubtful, but they're nonetheless relishing this affection and love between the mother and the child. The mother wants to correct her son. She doesn't care who he is. To her most important vision is that she's her son and it is her responsibility to correct her son. So Vrajvasis are really relishing that mellow. And the demigods, on the other hand, are relishing the mellow of mysticism and awe and reverence or greatness in Krishna. So they're actually talking amongst each other and they're saying that Mother Yashoda, no, she's trying to bind somebody who cannot even be measured. You cannot even be measured, the other demigod asked. Yes, cannot be measured. Remember when Krishna opened his mouth and showed the whole cosmos within the width, in his mouth, and he also showed Mother Yashoda inside. So what did Mother Yashoda think was the size of her or the mouth? What was the size of the mouth? One demigod says infinite, another one says infinitesimal, and the other one says somewhere in the middle. So basically it says, okay, we can't come to consensus. That means we cannot measure. And the other one says, where Krishna actually has no duality. Whatever he is from inside is from outside. So basically there is no inside outside. Everything is same. And then they give example like a mortal human being. Outside they're covered by skin or flesh. Inside there is something else. So there is difference between inside and outside. And then there is a spiritual existence. But Krishna has nothing like this, inside, outside. So how can you measure Krishna? How can you actually capture it? And the other one says that actually this is like Krishna is present everywhere. Brahma has taught us that Krishna is present even in the atom, right? And andantarastha paramanu chayantarastra. So even in the atom, Krishna is present. So if he's present in the atom, then he's also present in Mother Yashoda, and he's also present in the rope that she's using to bind Krishna. So basically he's present everywhere. So how can you bind Krishna? So nobody can understand. And then one very wise sage among the demigods says, you know, trying to bind Krishna is like trying to put flame in fire. And everybody likes that analogy. Trying to put flame in fire? Oh, that's not possible. So yes, that's a very good analogy. Or trying to bind air or ether. Can you bind Krishna? Cannot bind Krishna. But one of them says, I think she will succeed. And everybody looks on him and says, she will succeed? How will she succeed? Because Krishna cannot be bound. So when, okay, this is happening. And in the meantime, Mother Yashoda is always falling short with the width of 2 fingers. So width, right? This is the width of 2 fingers, this portion. So she's falling short with that. And then she's in her mind thinking, okay, there may be some mystic thing, but maybe I'm putting the knots too big. Maybe a lot of rope is being consumed in putting the knot. So she looks here, she looks there, and the size of the knot doesn't appear to be huge. Everything appears to be fine. And then she says, okay, now let me just put this kid in my lap, and then let me just, keep binding. So she picks up Krishna, puts her in the lap, and she embraces. So the demigod says, see, now he's sitting in the mother's lap and he's bound by her arms, but he's not able to be bound by the ropes. How is it possible that you can get bound by the arms of your mom, but you cannot be bound by her ropes? You see, because Krishna is infinite, Krishna is infinitesimal, and Krishna is somewhere in the middle. So, and Mother Yashoda is completely oblivious. Okay, my son has been bound by my hands, but is not getting bound by the rope. So she's anyhow, continuing, because she really wants to teach her son a lesson, how to behave and how not to behave. Okay, and we'll continue this. So one demigod says that, okay, he's bound by the embrace of his mother because of the presence of the energy of grace. Krishna has many energies which are conflicting and not letting Mother Yashoda bite. But the mercy, the Daya Shakti, when she becomes prominent because of the outpouring of affectionate maternal love for Krishna from Mother Yashoda, then Krishna agrees to be bound. So when she shows that, when she picks him up in her lap, and that energy becomes prominent. But when she puts him down, then the other energies become more prominent. So we'll see this tug of war and the tug of conflicts and understanding and different rasas being enjoyed everywhere tomorrow. No,